Air travel allows us to explore the world and brings more and more travelers to our doorstep. In Canada, our airports are modernizing, streamlining services, and increasing security to improve air travel for everyone. The Canada Border Services Agency's primary inspection kiosk was created to improve border services for international travelers at Canada's busiest airports. Upon arrival in Canada, most travelers will use a kiosk to verify their travel documents, confirm their identity using facial authentication, and complete an on-screen declaration. Seems simple, right? Let's take a look behind the scenes. Throughout the planning phase, CBSA used Gender-Based Analysis Plus, or GBA Plus, to inform the design and operation of the kiosk. GBA Plus is an analytical process used to assess how diverse groups of people may experience initiatives. We all have multiple identity factors that intersect to make us who we are and impact our lived reality. This is called intersectionality. The plus in GBA Plus examines how sex and gender intersect with other identities such as race, ethnicity, religion, age, or mental or physical disability. But what does this have to do with these airport kiosks? To ensure that no group of people would be unfairly disadvantaged by this technology, CBSA evaluated technical and logistical elements of the airport border inspection experience by looking at gender and other intersecting factors, including age, mobility, and socioeconomic considerations. To do this, CBSA accessed qualitative and quantitative data from academic publications, statistical sources, and research papers to help identify the different impacts on different groups and plan potential responses and mitigation strategies. The GBA Plus showed that most of the kiosk's elements had minimal impacts on different groups, but it did uncover a key difference. Facial authentication has the potential to impact people differently depending on their gender, age, mobility, and ethnicity. For example, facial recognition technology does not work well on children, but its performance rapidly improves as a person's age increases. With impacted groups, the use of the kiosk's technology could result in reduced or increased scrutiny or delayed processing time, or higher rates of false negatives. For example, someone who should have been stopped makes it across the border. So what now? Did CBSA abandon the technology or their GBA Plus? No, instead, they used this information to develop strategies that mitigate these effects. On the technology side, they adjusted facial match requirements to minimize negative impacts on different groups. From an operations standpoint, they redirected travelers with scores below the match requirement to another area to undergo a visual inspection. As technology continues to evolve, CBSA will continue to evaluate the kiosks to identify any additional impacts, making improvements along the way to meet the highest standards and ensure the security of all air travelers. Follow their lead and use GBA Plus to be more inclusive in your approach. Visit Status of Women Canada and check out our Demystifying GBA Plus job aid on GCpedia. Information is available upon request for those outside the Government of Canada.